Guys, can all hear Bulls on Wall Street. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Happy Super Bowl. Whether you're a 49ers or Chiefs fan, it does not matter. It is a gluttonous American holiday that is one of my favorites. Hopefully, you guys don't get too drunk today and are able to shred the markets tomorrow. There's so much going on right now with the coronavirus. The Chicago PMI numbers tanking the market yesterday. Luckin Coffee getting attacked by short sellers. The action in the last week has been tremendous. Guys, I want to just throw in one thing before we get started. I've got a free chat day coming in on Thursday. I invite you all to come in, watch me trade live. I'm going to be teaching you a few trading setups. And then most importantly, I'm going to literally be just coming in and shredding in front of you guys. I've got an awesome Discord room. These guys are chatting like all day about just all sorts of stuff, even on Sundays and things like that. You can see these guys just working together. It is one of the best ways to improve as a trader, is to find a like-minded group of solid people, no egos, just focused on the process and getting better. That's one way to supercharge your knowledge base. I'm going to be inviting you guys into my Discord so that you guys can watch me do what I do, which is trade stocks. I think Monday is going to be an incredible day. The Chinese markets are set to reopen on Monday. They are predicting probably some kind of sell-off at the open. Now, remember, if they're predicting it, probably not going to happen, but it looks like the Chinese government's going to be putting in some liquidity into the market. So from what I read, they're going to be putting up to $173 billion into the market and possibly even in open market operations, which essentially is like kind of like the PPT for what we do in the US stock market, right? Market starts to tank, the Federal Reserve pumps the market, or the Trumpster comes on and pumps the market, and you guys, kind of get the selling to subside. But I think that Monday is going to be wild. These exchanges have been closed for a little bit, and we don't really know what's going on over there, but we do know that it is going to get wild. Now, the U.S. futures market, we don't know exactly how it's going to open. We don't know what the market's going to be opening like tomorrow. You can look at the futures market, and it doesn't really tell you the future. I'll tell you that. A lot of times I see the futures down at night, and then you wake up and the market's ramping up and vice versa. Unless you're trading futures, there's no point of really sitting there focusing on it. But the big numbers, look, the Dow was down 600 points on Friday. NASDAQ down 147. There is some tremendous volatility to be played. If you look here, this TVIX was just amazing. It was at $48, ran up to $59 on Friday. You can see a rounding bottom pattern here. Man, if this thing kind of get close over the 60, you could really see some volatility come into the market. You can even see the volume pattern really trending. So what is the play? What do we do when the market is like that, right? Because there's fear out there. We don't know exactly what's happening. There's a little bit of an unknown. Guys, a few days ago, I did a coronavirus video for you guys. I told you the exact play, which virus stocks were going to pop, and then which ones you needed to short after, and then vice versa. That scenario played out to the penny. If you look here, there's a handful of these virus stocks that are still running rampant that you guys probably want to keep on your watch list. Man, this NNVC was up 40% on Friday. You can see here, this thing used to be like $2, $3. Now, this is a pump and dump company. If you can see here, like this thing on the daily chart, the way it's looking. If this type of company, man, if this thing gaps up on Monday, say this thing's at $23, $24, $25, probably we're going to get a nice short out of it. You can see the trend is really starting on these things. Now, a couple of these look like they could make moves to the upside. This Lake could definitely make a move to the upside. This APT is not too extended. This one could make a move to the upside. And then, of course, you have INO. There's a handful of these that are, that have pulled back a little bit. They could make a move to the upside, but my thinking is like once these things start to ramp up, we short them. I caught a wicked short on INO a couple days ago. See, a lot of times we want to buy these things for the pump, and that's fine, but I think the short play is easier because we know that these things are turds. on the 28th, I took a very, very simple setup. This is called a green to red setup. And you guys can do this. So once the stock gets really extended, so you can see INO got all the way up from $3 to $6. The reason I chose INO to short over the rest of these names is that it has a 72 million share float. So the borrows are easier to find. You don't have to have like a specialty broker to find borrows like you will for NNVC, which is hard to borrow. So as this thing gapped up in the morning, so you see 570, as soon as this thing went green to red, which essentially means it broke below yesterday's close, I know that it's game over for this stock. So what we're essentially doing is, like, even before it gets there, I'm starting to layer into this one. So I'm scaling in, starting to scale in, and then what I want to do is when I get confirmation, I hammer it. And you can see this thing right from 530. Man, this thing got down to 470s within just a hot second. I mean, at this price, you can go in 5, 6, 7,000 shares, or even 5, 6, 700 shares, depending on your account size, and you can catch yourself a really nice shred. And then the beauty is, like, once you get a stock that's trending like this, what you want to do is, like, the first push, once it gets extended, you got to leave it alone. And as lunchtime hits, you want to short it near the VWAP. So as this thing starts to bounce back towards the VWAP, when you start to get these red candles a hold, you could re-short this and then play back into the downside. And you can see, like, over a couple days, and this thing got down to $4. Now, I didn't hold it down to $4, but I got a good chunk out of this one. And I had the picture perfect entry. I'm looking for something like that on NNVC, or if these things get re-pushed, I think that those are going to be the plays. Some other names that, could be impacted. This LK was marauded on Friday due to a report from Muddy Waters calling it a fraud. Now, it did end up getting bought up on, a little bit on Friday. I think something like this, we got to keep this on watch for both longs and shorts. There's going to be a play in this one. And then there's a whole host of other Chinese names that look like they're starting to pull the support. So any one of these, like, when the news on this virus adds down, because it's hard to bet on, like, catastrophes. I don't like doing that. When this virus news starts to, like, just slow down, you're going to see a major ramp in some of these Chinese names. Will they get back to its old highs? No, probably not. Not quickly, but over time. So I think Baidu and LK, these are going to be like my two faves. But there's some other ones. There's this HTHT, which is a Chinese hotel chain that's down quite a bit. So a lot of these could start to ramp. Keep an eye on them. But my thing, when the virus news ends, I want to short the virus stocks and long some select Chinese names that have been getting really crushed. Momo is another one that really, like, this thing was at $40, now it's at 30. So some of these type of names I think will get bought up. What we do need to do is to wait for the signals, wait for the patterns to emerge. Like, don't take a guess when the markets are going to rebound or when this virus news ends. As long as this TVIX is elevated, measures the fear in the market, and it goes up when the market goes down. As long as this is elevated, then we have to be on the defensive. Once this thing starts to roll over, then we load back into the Chinese names and short the vaccine names. That's the play, guys. I've seen this type of virus stuff a few other times in my trading career with the Ebola. It is scary, and it's, of course, very sad when, of course, people are getting hurt, but it will end at some point. They usually do, or always do, and then we can get on to trading some of these names once that fear is ebbed. I look forward to seeing you guys in our free chat day. And once again, happy Super Bowl, man. This is like July 4th, but for the winter, have some fun. Don't drink and drive. Use that Uber app. Help that stock price and smash that like button if you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I look forward to seeing you in the free chat day. I'm going to put my heart into it and do my best to put on a show like the Rolling Stones, but for stocks. God bless you all. Take care.